Hi, this is Manik. Welcome to my Sales Insight podcast. Today we are going to look at how to maximize network opportunities to generate more leads. Qualified sales leads are what feeds the sales pipeline. And understanding the psychology and the mantra behind how to generate qualified leads today is a key aspect in the entire sales process. There are so many techniques and channels that are available right now. You have to be very careful in selecting in how to reach your customer. First up, you need to make sure the intended prospect is on board or exposed to the channel that you're using. Basically, is subscribing to the channel which you want to use. It's all about how to leverage these tools. So lead generation has two ways. One is prospecting, which is a controllable element, where it deals with on a personal level, one-on-one, more interaction. It's a more proactive version. Number two is marketing. Basically marketing yourself, your brand, creating awareness and hoping out there's going to be any response. So it's slightly out of control. So in lead generation and prospecting, first up, you need to know your product. Then you need to know a clear profile of your prospect, whom you want to reach. And then you need to go fishing using multiple channels. මොනවගේ ප්‍රොඩක්ට් එකක්ද මගේ ගාව තියෙන්නේ මොනවගේ ස්වභාවයක්ද ඒකට සාපේක්ෂව කවුද මොනවගේ කස්ටමර්ස් ලවද ඇට්‍රැක්ට් වෙන්නේ කවුද ඒ වගේ පර්චේසින් ඩිසිෂන්ස් ගන්නෙ ඒ ගැන සාමාන්‍ය මන අවබෝධයක් තියෙන්න ඕනේ before you select a particular channel to reach them. And here you need to have multiple channels, because if one channel dries up, you have 3 or 4 other lead sources, because there are multiple ways to catching a fish. You just need to have multiple nets. There are 3 types of prospects: people you don't know, which is cold; people you know, who are friends; and people your people know, or friends of friends. But the strategies to reaching them differ significantly. At a macro level, you can break it down to digital and non-digital prospecting. When I say non-digital, I like to include even direct mailing or emails. I like to think digital is only for social platforms. So taking that classification, we'll look at some of the non-digital channels that are open. First up is cold calling. There are a lot of limitations as well as a lot of positives as well. A lot of effort needs to be put in for relatively small results. But it's a very popular tool, and you just have to have a habit to inculcate into your daily routine. Number 2 is leaflet drops. House Stores leaflet drop has been there for so long, is phasing out because the response rate has been relatively low, but it still works for certain products. So depending on the product that you sell, it can has a value. But the average lifetime of a leaflet is diminishing. It's something in the range of 6 to 7 seconds. So you got to have a pretty decent eye-catching leaflet to have some sort of impact. Number 3 is direct mail. I think all of us have done that. Now it has evolved, and now people use nice background and digital banners, make it more attractive, sometimes lively, with animations to get the attention. So it has been an effective tool. It still continue to be, because you can directly write to the exact prospect whom you want to contact. At the same time, if you have a good database with all the emails, you can have one email sent to a whole base at one time. You can extend this by sourcing outside email campaign providers which have a clear profile. So you need to understand the reach and the audience and have a better strike rate, reaching a wider audience at a very minimal cost. Then there is this holy grail of non-digital lead generation, which is networking. Networking can be done in a private setup, social, or at a professional level. There's something called friendship farming, where you continue to meet a certain friend. For example, if you go to a particular restaurant, maybe restaurant manager you don't personally know, but over a period of time, you build a relationship. You don't try to close the sale immediately. And over a period of time, you farm your relationship and build rapport. And that is at a very basic level, the networking starts. So networking can be private, social, or professional. So at a private, it can be your friends, birthdays, get-togethers, where you can really build rapport and start sharing the products that you offer. Then of course at social level, there are clubs, societies, OBS, Samagam, Samaja, Krida Samagam, Adisishta Sangam. So there are so many that you can be associated with. And these fraternities are very important, because that's a an absolute breeding ground to create network and new relationships, and a great opportunity to do referral marketing. Another aspect of network is community-based activities where you can integrate and develop rapport and relationships with community members. We can, of course, provide greater referrals to a business. So let's look at online or digital lead generation platforms. As I said, there are so many, but you have to make sure that your intended prospect is aligned or is currently subscribing to those channels. Having said that, there's no excuse that if you don't optimize your social presence out there, you're not going to generate any form of leads. So at a very basic level, you need to have at least Facebook, LinkedIn, and WhatsApp. These three are a must. So if you're not on those channels yet, you need to immediately subscribe and start building your presence in those channels. Let's look at Facebook in a while, but before that, I want to share with you, if you're marketing yourself online or digitally, through blogs or maybe digital banners, or some are into sharing videos, you got to make sure that your videos add value. Most of us, what we feel, a myth that we have is that we feel that we come up with greatest difficulty a video and put it out and we get a couple of likes and that's going to transfer into leads. It's not. You need to create value. You need to create new information. You need to create relevance. There are limitations, no doubt. For example, if you belong to a credit card company or insurance company, I mean, it goes on without saying, sometimes they might say, you know what, you can't use our company logo, which you have to obey. But no one can stop you having your own video. In that video, you need to create value. For example, if it is credit card, you can come up with how to use credit card tips, how to maximize credit card, how to use credit card wisely. So credit card habits, for example, insurance, what are the values of insurance, how you can really maximize its benefits. So if you can create those values, that will create a lot of value for your own brand as well. And there will be credibility. You will be known as expert in the industry. Since you're not associating a brand at that time, so it doesn't look as if you're selling something. So in that way, people really follow you for your value and for your expertise. So that's a nice way of promoting your brand indirectly. So getting back to Facebook, I mean, social platforms from Twitter to WhatsApp to Snapchat to Instagram, there are so many. As I said earlier, Facebook is a must. Now you need to transfer your Facebook into a lead generation machine. How you do that? Now Facebook do two things. One is it promotes you. Other one is it generates leads. You can use Facebook to great extent by combining the Facebook with LinkedIn account, which is the professional networking channel. How you do that is by, for example, if you want to reach all the procurement managers or decision makers or purchasing managers, you go to LinkedIn and you type in purchasing managers of Sri Lanka or in particular industry or whatever, you get the whole list of different companies. You go one by one and then cut and paste that name in Facebook and see whether there is a common friend. And then you go for a referral. Usually Facebook allows for 5,000 followers of friends list. So if you can have at least 2,000 direct prospects on your Facebook, that will be a great opportunity for you to share your content with them directly. So Facebook is an amazing tool to build rapport and connect with your prospect at an emotional level. Let me give an example. I was trying to approach a particular prospect for a good 5-6 months, and every time I call, she used to tell me that they are busy or they have a backlog of works or they are out of office or there are year-end meetings or out of the country. So a good 5-6 months, I couldn't get a single meeting or appointment to go and share my proposition. And then finally, I didn't give up though, but I stopped calling her for a while. And suddenly I saw this photograph in her Facebook, which she has posted after going for a wedding. And I just commented on saying that she looks really nice and elegant. And she has seen that and she has said thank you and commented on that. 2 days after, she called me and said, you know what, let's meet up for that particular appointment you have been trying. And then I closed the deal. So this is the power of networking and Facebook. And here you can really get close to your customers by monitoring their significant moments, kids' education, some achievement or their achievement or some qualifications they have obtained, or their birthdays. You can wish them, you can empathize with them if there is a funeral or some mishap, or congratulate them on various happy occasions. That will stick in their mind, and this is how you get into their psychology. And then over a period of time, then you can really get more serious in sharing your proposition. Apart from Twitter and Instagram, which are being used as a content sharing marketing tool to reach your customers or friends, LinkedIn can be used very wisely, where I see a lot of people now attach very nice digital banners of your new offerings and new products that have come out, or special discounts. And remember, LinkedIn is a personal email, so you can directly, with full confidentiality, you can reach your client. So use those tools because it's free of charge, it's out there. It's a matter of just making it a habit and regularly have the sustainable kind of perseverance to make sure, today I'm going to send X number of LinkedIn messages, Facebook invites for your prospects. That's how you optimize your social presence. See, we all want to be accepted. We are constantly want approval from others. We like when someone says a nice comment about us. We are looking for that dopamine shot. So we need to, as lead generators, we need to make sure that we evoke emotion and activate those triggers in our prospects. Here's Manik. Thank you for being with me in this sales podcast. Please subscribe to my channel, The Sales Target, for more sales insight and reminding you it's time we stop selling and start closing. Take care.